Hello ladies and gentlemen, Hobo here, and today I'm going to attempt the raid boss with my explosive Claptrap build. I finally managed to get a shock baby maker, so I'll have a weapon to strip the shields during the various phases. It'll work on pretty much every one of them with exception to his second one during his giant phase, which is going to have shock resistance. But luckily I have my Ravager for that phase. My biggest concern during this fight is going to be the constant AoE that he's going to be doing to the floor, which is going to destroy my shield, and the various adds. I'm probably going to get down a lot during the second half of the fight, since I don't have a good shield at the moment. I still need to play around with the unique and legendaries and see what works best with my build. I'll also probably need to kill some adds during the fight to get some health back during it. But generally, if I can avoid the dots as much as possible, the fight should go pretty smoothly. But let's give it a shot. And now for the cutscene. I will say one thing about this boss. It's probably, out of all the ones that I've ever fought in Borderlands 1 and 2 in terms of raid bosses, he's probably my most favorite. And that's because he's fair. There's no bullshit AoE constant novas that he likes to spew. There's no other gimmicks to the fight. It's pretty fair. Like, you see what he's going to do, you can avoid it. You can dodge his attacks. But at the same time, that's what makes this fight so easy. Alright, so baby maker the strip, and there's form 1. Now on to form 2. Alright, now on to form 3. Alright, on to the final human form. I'm going to avoid the adds as much as possible. This is also flesh, so I can switch to my Ravager for this one. My biggest concern is the bullet reflect that he can do occasionally. Especially since if he reflects my money shot, it'll hurt like hell. There we go. Now on to the second part of the fight. This part of the fight is going to be the most annoying. Mostly because the constant damage he does to the floor whenever his hands, like, hit it. I also have to worry about a lot of air adds. So I have to try to keep my eyes open for both the ground and the air as much as possible. I got a kill skill. There's the shield. As you can see, I need to incorporate a lot more survivability into the build. It's just something I gotta work out by finding better shield, better gear. Alright, so the next phase is the shock resistant one. So I'm just gonna stick with the Ravager for this one. Yeah, I gotta get up top. Go. Try to get away from that black hole as much as possible. There we go. Turn this way. Alright, now onto the final form. Pick up some ammo while I can. Yep. And here we go. Try to get in front of them while we can. There we go. And that is the raid boss, solo with my explosive Claptrap build. I will show you the gear, and I will show you the spec for those who care. Like I said, I've managed to find a shock baby maker, which is exceptionally useful for stripping the shields since the multipliers. The explosive one I have is good for just trash mobs since I'm boosting explosive damage, but when it comes to just gratuitous amount of shields that I need to hammer through, this will always win out. I'm using a Fragnum mostly because if anything that's outside my range of my Ravager, I'll use this. Especially if I'm down. If I need to be a little bit more precise, I'll use my Fragnum. Or, alternatively, if my Ravager runs out of ammo, I can fall back on the Fragnum. But this is my primary go-to weapon, my Ravager. I found it at a grinder from a buddy, gave it to me from a grinder in all honesty. I still need to find a better version. I really wish this was casual with the vertical grip rather than the blade, but the fact that it's so goddamn good with the bonus 10% crit, it's just so hard to pass up right now, even though I found one with the vertical grip. Bada boom. One of my returning favorites from Borderlands 2. Saved my ass numerous times when down. I rarely use this thing anymore, in all honesty. My Ravager and my Fragnum do more than enough. Shield, really want to find a replacement for this. Still testing things out. Need to try out the other uniques, the other legendaries. Grenade, I switch this out all the time. I really like Cryo as a grenade. I'd probably try to find something with Longbow, Instant Det. Probably a Vladoff AoE rather than the Betty. Class mod. It's all dumping into explosive and into 6 one last thing, which is the equivalent of money shot in this game, which is giving me a huge DPS. And my Bombardier Oskit. The free grenade chance doesn't seem to ever work. I don't know if it's bugged or not. But if the damage formula follows the same one as Borderlands 2 did, the grenade damage will boost explosive damage for all my weapons. Alright, here's the skill tree. I have nothing in I Love You Guys, though I wish I could, because the survivability it grants would come in handy. The only healing I have right now... Oh, wrong button. The only healing I have right now is on Killbot, which is just every time I get a kill, I lose some shields and heal. Which in prolonged fights like this is detrimental. I need to find a little bit more survivability, akin to a new shield or maybe switching up my skills to have something in here. But generally, the left side is all about boosting reload speed, fire rate, and boosting my explosive damage as much as possible. One last thing, which is the big hitter, especially with the Ravager, since it's only a 2-shot, so I can get the money shot. And living near the edge, which will give me a huge boost through fire rate and reload speed if I'm low health or down. And I'm also running I Am Rubber, which is good for damage reflect, which had very little to do in this fight, in all honesty. Far right tree is all the subroutines. And triple clocked is where the big damage comes from in here. Because if I roll any weapon that I'm using, or if I'm rolling explosive, I'll get a huge boost, and triple clock will increase that boost based upon the amount of frag stacks remaining, which is the 10, the 9, and so on and so forth. Like, every time it runs out, I'll get a new subroutine, which will be explosive, in this case, which will in turn give me a huge boost to my explosive damage, which is pretty much almost the thing, everything I'm using. And it'll only get greater the less stacks I have. Any kill I get will give me a damage boost and reload speed boost. The movement speed is really useful too for getting my ass out of trouble. More grenade damage is always useful, especially if it follows the formula BL2 and boosting the splash. And Rainbow Coolant mostly because it saved my ass several times from the small amount of healing it does, as well as the novas that it does have pretty much killed a lot of things around me when I'm fully surrounded by melee targets like Torques. My primary source of healing, as I said, is just Killbot and my action skill. And here is my badass rank. I just leave it on because why not? So yeah, this is my explosive Claptrap build. Still need a little bit more gear. Need to play around with the skills a little bit more, see what works, see what doesn't. Try to get the most out of it as I can. And yeah, this was it against the raid boss. It's pretty hit or miss during that second phase, in all honesty. The AoE that he does in the end pretty much can down me pretty easily. And if I get too many consecutive downs, I'll be forced to wipe. But generally, it can go pretty smoothly with him. I just gotta be on my toes and try to get a kill in every now and again to heal. So yeah, that's my explosive Claptrap build. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time in my next video. It'll probably be another sub-boss, probably Felicity, something else, just to showcase the effectiveness of it. But I just wanted to knock out this video since I managed to actually pull the Shock Baby Maker. So yeah. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a great day, great night, wherever you're at. And yeah, take care of yourself. Hobo out.